Now to the debate last night. Taking a closer look at last night's debate that you saw live on WPRI 12. Candidates for Congress, 8 of them Democrats, vying to win next week's primary. Tackling issues from health care to military spending. Joe Cortez joins us now live with more on the candidates' responses to a question on the defense budget.
Patrick, the Defense Appropriation Act's funding would be spread across multiple supports, including modernization to our Army and Air Force, weapons contracts, Navy shipbuilding, artificial intelligence, and much more. Rhode Island has a giant stake in the defense industry. It's a key economic sector in the state's 1st district. Target 12's Ted Nisi began this topic with the question, would you still support the defense bill, even if it caused job loss in Rhode Island?
The answer is no, and it doesn't matter what district it's in, 1st or 2nd district. There's 34,000 people employed in the defense industry. We have 1,200 businesses in Rhode Island that are secondary and tertiary to the big industries that we have here.
There's no reason why we shouldn't have a strong military to protect our citizens and also prioritize services for our care economy and for our priorities for working families.
Invest in education, invest in our a program to prevent more children dying for overdose. Then I think those are the money that we need to invest back to people and not just to the Army.
And I think we have to address this issue. We heard about the cost of living, we heard about housing, we heard about education. I want to invest on jobs and education instead of war and annihilation.
All the candidates weighed in on this question, and for a full review of last night's debate with the Democratic candidates, head over to our website, WPRI.com. Live in studio, Joe Cortez, 12 News.
Election headquarters with continuing coverage from the debate last night between the candidates for Congress. A lot discussed between the panel and 8 Democrats vying to win next week's primary. One of the final questions focused on the future of daylight savings time. Joe Cortez joins us with more on this question that may not have been at the top of the list, but certainly divided the room. Joe.
Patrick, last year the Senate passed the Sunshine Protection Act. It would have allowed daylight savings time to become permanent, but the bill died in the House of Representatives. Now, the time flip has been in place in nearly all of the United States since the 1960s. Since 2015, about 30 states have introduced legislation to end the twice-yearly changing of the clocks. But in last night's debate, the question was asked and the importance around it because Senator Sheldon Whitehouse sponsored the previous bill. Now, 5 of the 8 candidates said that they would vote to end daylight savings time if the bill ever came to fruition. 2 others said that they would keep it the way it was, and 1 said he'd need a better understanding of the pros and cons.
One of the things knocking at doors, somebody brought that question to me.
Really?
And one of the things that she said that she would like to keep it one way because children with disability have an issue when the time change. And it's very hard for them to get used to it again. Then I would go for which you just got one time.
The debate featured much more, including conversations on the debt ceiling, health care, climate change, and many other major issues up for discussion. Our website has an easy access page for you to jump in, and you can see all the responses from the candidates for each topic that was discussed last night. Live in studio, Joe Cortez, 12 News.